Hello students, a very good afternoon to everybody right there. Welcome to the very session. I am Preksha Sharma, your English educator at Unacademy, and I give you all a very warm welcome guys. A very good afternoon everybody. How are you all doing everyone? Hi guys, a warm welcome to everybody right there. Welcome to the very session. My name is Preksha Sharma, your English educator, and I welcome you all to this session wherein we are going to cover first flight today in one shot. I'm going to make you all revise the entire book basically from the point of view of your term 1. All right, so make sure that you're staying tuned for the entire session. Also, you guys are going to listen to me super duper carefully so that you don't miss out anything which is literally amazing. Alrighty people, so I welcome you all once again to the very session, and guys, kindly share the link of the session with all your friends because the session is going to be an important one. In case if you guys would have any doubt regarding anything, you guys can let me know about that as well, and I can make you all understand it so very much clearly. Alrighty people, a very warm welcome to everybody right there. Hey Sadwinder, hi Sneha, hi Shiksha, hello Anshuman, hello everybody. Guys, give me a confirmation in the comment section that you guys can hear me well, you guys can see me well, and also give me a confirmation that you all have shared the link of this session with all your friends. Alright, because I want all of you to stay tuned for the entire session because the session is going to be an informative one. Alright, basically you guys would be able to revise whatever we did. Alrighty, people. So go ahead with it, guys. This is for your good. All right. Hey, Mukul. Hi, dear. Sneha. Thank you, dear. Hey, Amal. Hello, dear. Welcome to the worry session. So, guys, we are going to deal with first flight today. Full revision in one shot is going to take place. That is in 1 hour. So, just make sure you are listening to me carefully. My name is Preksha Sharma. I'm sure that you guys know this so well. I've done MA in English from Delhi University. I'm a Plus verified educator. I've been guiding a lot of students for the past few years to be super fluent in their communication skills and to score good marks in academics as well. I'm sure I'm going to help each one of you as well. Hey Mukul, hi guys, hello everybody, welcome to the worry session. There is no mentee today, guys. We are going to revise the entire book, okay? So now, guys, we have got this Telegram channel which is basically for all of you. I would like to urge you all to just join this particular channel. The reason being that herein you guys are going to get a lot of information, a lot of updates would be coming in for all of you so that you guys don't miss out anything, because every educator is now aiming towards the fact that you guys get to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of new things, as in like a lot of concepts being clear to all of you because your term 1 is approaching. So everybody, are you all aware of the date of your beginning of the examination? Everyone in the comment section, I'm sure that you know that from 30th November your exams are going to begin. So you guys will have to be really very much energetic. Now you guys have to leave all your laziness, all your lethargicness, that must be vanished away. Alrighty people, hey Priyanshi, hi dear. Alright people, so now, Mukul, my dear, if you don't understand anything, just let me know, dear. I'll explain it in a more simplified manner. But since it's an English class, so I would like to go ahead with what? I would like to go ahead with English only. If something is not making sense to you, let me know about it, okay? Because the more you will listen, your listening power will increase, okay? That way you will be able to decode what the other person is telling you. Alrighty, people. Hey, hi, Tosif. Hello, everybody. Okay. Now, yeah, Devrad, we are going to have one class together, all right, and that's going to take place soon. So just stay tuned. We are going to come up with the strategy for all of you. Alrighty, people. So this is the Telegram channel. Join it for your good, guys. And Unacademy subscription features. You know, we have got like unlimited features for everybody right there. You guys get to learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be given to all our dear and darling students. And top educators of India would be there on one single platform. So that means that all the highly qualified teachers are going to be there to help you all to score good marks in your examination so that you can clear all your doubts as well. Then regular doubt clearing and answer writing sessions would definitely be there. And guys, when it comes to English, writing is very important, spelling is important, vocabulary is important, and whenever I teach you all, I make sure that I am hitting on every important point that's really necessary, okay? Then exhaustive coverage of the entire syllabus would also be there. We are going to cover the entire syllabus so perfectly. Mentorship and guidance would definitely be there. We are going to guide you definitely. Study material in the form of PDF would be given. Practice tests, live test series, and batch courses would also be there. So we would have daily practice sections, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQs, and subjective test series. We are literally going to present a lot for all of you. Do not miss out anything that can help you score good marks in your examinations. Okay. And then we have got iconic subscription. This is super unique. And what is the reason behind it? The reason is that herein you will find one-on-one interaction between you and the educator. So if you want, like, the educator should just be concentrating on me, that's going to happen. Okay. So personal mentor would be there. Live doubt solving sessions would also be there. Weekly reports would be there. Parent connecting would be there. Study planner would also be there. And all benefits of an academy subscription would also be a part of your iconic subscription. So guys, what else you need? Because we are providing you a lot, okay? When you guys are going to compare the amount, all right, that you're charged with the benefits that we are providing, you will see the weightage of the benefits is more than the weightage of the amount that you are charged with. So just be a bit practical, be a bit wise, discuss about this with your parents and go ahead with it. Alrighty. So guys, we have got different monthly plans. You guys can go ahead with any plan that suits you the best. Be it 48 months, 36 months, 24 months, 18 months, 15 months, 12 months, 9 months, 6 months or 3 months. Okay. So go ahead with any plan that suits you the best. But being your educator, being your well-wisher, I would like to tell you all to go ahead with a longer tenure. That's always beneficial. Okay. So make use of my code, which is PSH10, and make your life super duper easier, guys. All right, go ahead with it. Okay. Sorry guys, I've got a bad throat. So Unacademy emerged, guys. Be the first one to practice for CBSE Term 1 as per the latest exam pattern. Free live mock tests every week would be there, aligned with latest CBSE guidelines. Toppers features on Unacademy social media handles would also be there. Detailed performance report would be shared with the solutions by India's top educators, and we would have all India rank as well. Alright people, so this is the validation. Unacademy emerged India's first mock test series for all our students, and this is basically for all the 10th and the 12th. Okay, so date is 23rd October. I'm sure that everybody attempted their particular test yesterday, and today we have maths for class 10, economics for class 12 commerce students, and biology for class 12 science students. And on 25th October we would have business studies for class 12 commerce students and physics for class 12 science students. And on 26th October we would have chemistry for class 12 science students. So the timing is 5 to 6:30. Enroll right away. Okay, you can use the code PSH10 and go ahead with this. All right. And then Unacademy special class features, guys. We have got like unlimited features. You guys get to learn live from the like comfort of your home. Okay, that is live real-time interaction using the chats and emojis. Ask questions using the question tab. Live poll options for quiz and poll leaderboard. Compete with your friends as well. Okay. Now, students, we are going to start with our chapters, our respective chapters. Okay. You know that what are the chapters that are going to be there in your syllabus? Everybody in the comment section. First of all, I would really like to know if you are actually aware of your syllabus or not. Hey guys, Ashish my dear, there is no mentee. We are going to have the revision in one shot. All right, I'll be highlighting all the key points of every chapter so that you guys have a good understanding about it. Alrighty people, hey guys, hey Balmiki, hi Anil. Anil, I think yes I do. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I think I do. Okay. Hey Corby, hi dear, I'm very well. Not exactly. I've got a very bad throat. That is what had happened to me. I don't know how did it happen. So I got cold and I've got a sore throat. So that is what has happened to my voice. Alrighty people. So what is the syllabus? Om Prakash is saying yes. Okay. Tell me the syllabus. Be quick in telling the syllabus to me in the comment section. Everybody, what is your syllabus? Everyone. What is the syllabus, guys? Come on, go ahead with the chapters. What are the chapters that are being asked? A Letter to God, is it there? And then we have Nelson Mandela. We have From the Diary of Anne Frank. We have got the 100 Races 1 and 2, right? His first flight, the Black Aeroplane, right? Yes, guys, everybody knows it already, people. So now we are going ahead. Also, kindly share the link of the session with all your friends right away so that they do not miss out anything. That's going to be an important one today for this very particular session. Alrighty, A Letter to God. Okay, people, let's move ahead. So, A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. Here in my first tip to everybody right there. Alright, and very important one from your examination point of view. Remember, alright, remember the name of the chapter, alright, and the Writer's name very clearly. Okay, this is very important. I've been reiterating this in all my sessions, and this is something super duper important. The reason being, any sort of question can be asked in your examination. We do not know, there can be pairs wherein it says whether the title of the chapter is letter to God, or it can be another option which says a letter to God or the letter to God. So you should know exactly what is the title of your chapter. It says a letter to God. Remember it clearly, because whenever I ask you all the question, I get answers saying that letter to God or the letter to God, which is not right. Okay, even one single punctuation matters in the title of your chapter. That's how the titles are being made. Okay, they give a proper thought to it, like what should be the title. So you guys just cannot play with that. Okay, do not disrespect the title that has been selected by the author or the writer. Alrighty, is that clear to everybody? Now, this has been written by G.L. Fuentes. So whenever somebody is asking you what is the name of the writer, you should know it's G.L. and then it's Fuentes. Okay, remember the spelling correctly. This is really important. Okay, a lot of you say Fluentes, which is wrong. Hi guys, am I visible to everybody right there? Yes guys, I hope that I'm visible to everybody right there, right? Okay, so you have to remember the name so clearly. Okay, don't go ahead with the wrong spelling. Now moving ahead, everybody, what are the main points of this very particular chapter? So guys, now I'll be sharing the main points of every chapter with all of you, but I would also like to have certain points from your end as well. Okay, all the points, they are being welcome, so that we can have a good revision. Also, when you guys are going to mention certain points in the comment section, this is going to be a double kind of a revision. All right, so go ahead guys, if there is any problem then just let me know. Guys, I'm so sorry, I've got a very bad throat, so you guys have to bear a bit with me and just try to be a little more patient, because I am trying to be a lot more patient right now. All right people, good to go. So what is the story talking about? The story is revolving around the idea of having unquestionable belief in something. Okay, this is very important. The entire story is focusing on the fact that there is a person in the story whose name is Lencho. Okay, he is the protagonist. What does that mean? It means, yeah, so this basically means that we are talking about the unshakable faith. All right, people. So we are talking about the protagonist, the main person who is there in the story, whose name is Lencho, and he has got an unshakable faith, as in that he has faith in God, which is literally not questionable. All right. The story is set in Latin America country, and Lencho is the protagonist. You know the name of the person Lencho so clearly. He is a farmer, right? He is a farmer who is totally dependent upon his crops. And what are the crops, everybody? What are the crops, everyone? Everyone. Mukul, this is going to be 1 hour session only. All right. Protagonist is the main character of the story. That's right. All right. Pratmesh, don't be worried about that. I am doing a bit well. It's just that suddenly I started coughing a bit. Okay, everybody, corn, right? So he had this corn field, all right, and he was totally dependent upon it. So we see that Lencho, what happened to him is that he was waiting for the rain to happen, all right, and it did happen. But immediately after that, hailstones started pouring in, and due to that, the entire field was being destroyed. All right, people, the entire field was being destroyed. And being a farmer, the field is very important because his entire life depends upon that particular field. All right, he can earn bread and butter for his family only through that particular field. So he was completely in distressed position. That means that he was completely so sad. He just couldn't hope for anything better, and that is why he wanted something good to happen now, and he had to ask for the compensation, right? So what did he do? Lencho writes a letter to God seeking help from the Almighty, right? Yes, everybody? Do you all get that? Yeah, right. Do you all get that? So what happens is that Lencho writes a letter to God Seeking help from the Almighty, that is God, after discovering his entire crop yield destroyed by a devastating hailstorm. So it was literally devastating because nothing was being left. All right, nothing was being left. So his wishes get fulfilled partially. And how is that partially, guys? Yeah. So we see that his wishes get guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know why is this lag taking place, but there seems to be some issue. All right. Just just try to bear a bit, guys. All right. So herein we see that his wishes get fulfilled partially. All right, and he is ungrateful in the end and questions the honesty and modesty of the post office employees. So yeah, so he's ungrateful in the end and questions the honesty and modesty of the post office employee. So that was not actually right on his part. Though the help was given to him anonymously, that basically means that the name wasn't being revealed. So if you're not telling somebody like what must have been done or what is done to you, how would I come to know that you are the one who's helping me behind me? Okay. But herein, what do we see? Herein, we come to know about the protagonist Lencho, that he is literally a knife person. He's super innocent, who is literally not into the very domain of any clever or cunning aspects, right? He believes so straightforwardly in the creation of God, and that is why there seems to be a conflict in the given story, a conflict between the humans, and the conflict between the humans and the nature. All right. How do we come to know about the conflict between humans and nature? We come to know about this when we see that a human is waiting for the nature to support him so that he could earn bread and butter for his family. But in a way, like it does support to some extent, but after later, like after some time, it turns into a devastating scenario. All right. So what do we basically see? That nature can turn immediately against the human. All right, because nature is very much independent in its own nature. So in this particular chapter, you see that there are two things which are running side by side. One is conflict between humans and humans, because humans don't tend to believe other humans. And we come to know this through Lencho, that Lencho was not really believing in what in another person's help. He could not even have imagined. I mean that he didn't even think about this, that he could have got the help from somebody else. This didn't happen, right? Instead, his faith was such unshakable that this came to his mind that he had got the money from God only. All right, he didn't think that a human can help him. So there seems to be a irony in the very title of the chapter. And what is that? The irony is that a letter to God. We do not know the address of the God. Do you know? Do you know, guys? Yes, Corby, that is the right thing. That we are talking about these two conflicts. So we do not know the address of the God. Okay, I cannot, like, if you're telling me to write a letter to God, for example, if somebody is asking me to write a letter to Corby, I might have her address. Okay, I might send her a proper like letter, or I might send her a proper courier. But if I do not know the address of God, how could I do that? All right, so in this chapter, what do we see? That Lencho is calling all of them, the post office employees, as a bunch of crooks, which is literally ironical because those people, crooks, refer to the people who are referred to as dishonest, right? So they are being referred to as liars, which is completely wrong. They should not have been referred to as this, but this was being done unknowingly by the protagonist Lencho. Clear, everybody? Yeah, God is everywhere, that is very right. But you know, like when you need a tangible thing, when you need a proper address, you don't have that. So he was just writing a letter to God. So there was no address that was being written. That is why even the post office employees, they were laughing at it. So guys, in this particular chapter, what you guys will have to remember is, first thing, guys, read the chapter. I am literally very serious about this. Read the chapter. Second thing is, remember the character sketch of Lencho so clearly. He was naive, he was innocent, he was an agriculturist, he was a farmer, okay? He was a man of fields. He was being referred to as an ox of a man, right? Which basically means very hardworking, Also, guys, just keep a note of whatever I'm telling you all, okay? Sit with your notebook, okay? Just keep making certain notes for your good. Also, he was a little more educated as well, though he was a farmer, but he knew how to write. That is why he had written a proper letter wherein he had stated all the reasons that why he was demanding 100 pesos from the god. All right, people. So this is the entire crux of this particular chapter, that this is what he was. So second thing, character sketch. Third thing is the character sketch of the postmaster, okay, which is very again important. All right, he was an amiable fellow, he was a friendly person, he didn't want to shake the faith of Lencho in God. That is why he signed up the letter as God, which is very important. So keep this in your mind, all right. Also, he was very much contented. That basically means he was satisfied after helping Lencho, and that was being targeted as an act of charity, which is again important. Clear to everybody? Yes, guys. Raina, I'm pretty okay, not that good, but I'm doing fine. Is that clear, everyone? Clear. This chapter by G.L. Fuentes, A Letter to God, this is what you had to revise about it. This is what you all have to keep in your mind. These are the three things. First, as I said, that you have to remember, like read the chapter. Second, remember the character sketch of Lencho and Postmaster clearly. And the third thing and the last thing that I would like to tell you all is that the irony in the title of the chapter, which is again very important, because there was no particular address that was being given to him. Instead, it actually reached post office, and they were the people, all right, who were in a way being like designated by God to help that particular farmer. Clear? Is that clear? Yes, guys. Okay, moving ahead. Now we are moving to his first flight. It has been written by Liam O'Flaherty. All right. Please, many of you say that this is just first flight. That's wrong. This is his first flight. Remember it. Also, like after O, you should have this. Okay. Do not write like your, I mean, as I said earlier, they can confuse you in your examination. Don't let that happen. By Liam O'Flaherty. Remember it clearly. Very important chapter. Okay. So what exactly this chapter is talking about? Again, see, there's a young seagull who was sitting alone on the ledge. All right, so there's a young seagull. Basically, the chapter is highlighting about his very first flight. That means his attempt to take a flight. So there are certain things that are running in this chapter. It talks about the very concept of fear. Okay, it talks about the concept of belief. Okay, it talks about the concept of ability and capacity and capability as well. So it is reflecting upon the fact that whatever this thing like fear is, that's it just in the mind. All right, it is just in the mind. If you want to overcome fear, you have to attempt for it. All right, herein we see that the young seagull didn't have any kind of belief in himself. All right, there was lack of belief. This is what the chapter is talking about. There was lack of belief. All right, there was lack of trust. All right, and there was lack of there was lack of capability. All right. So now the person, he was literally so very much fearful. Sorry, not the person, the animal. Sorry, the bird we are here talking about was not really confident about himself. So what is the main thing that we are talking about? The lack of confidence. Okay. He was not at all ready to take his first flight, and he was being forced by his parents. Okay. And they had come up with what? They had come up with one strategy to make him understand that this is really important, that they should sorry that he should make his first flight on his own in order to be independent. Alrighty, lack of confidence. Alright, people, is that clear to everybody? Right. So here we see the young seagull was sitting alone on the ledge, his two brothers and sisters. So he had two brothers, remember this, and one sister, remember this, had learned how to fly before him and now trying to be perfect their flight. So they were learning the art of perfection. So the seagull believes his wings would not support him, so he's afraid of flying. His parents scolded him and his siblings taunted him as a coward. Alright, coward is one who doesn't have courage. All right, that means that you do not have courage to do something. In Hindi, we call it himmat. Okay. So his mother showed him for a fish in her beak, and maddened by hunger, he dived for the fish. At last, he could fly. So there are a lot of details that are being given in this particular chapter. I have hinted on just the main point so that you will get an overview of the entire chapter. Okay, herein what exactly is happening, we come to know about the person, about a bird who didn't have any kind of confidence, and just because of like hunger, so the hunger now was ruling in his mind. He was completely going mad. He didn't have anything for at least like 24 hours, right? And that is why he didn't think of anything else. He just wanted that piece of fish that his mother was carrying in her beak, and she stopped in midway. Why? Because she wanted him to just take a dive at the very fish, and that is what he did. Thereon, like, he was just now trying to make an attempt to fly, all right. And then afterwards he took that flight, and he was then doing good. Thereon his fear now was vanishing him. All right, so what is the chapter telling us? That it is always like, whenever you feel fear about anything, you need to muster up your courage in order to get away with that. Because like, if you want to be independent in your life, you need to take certain steps. That's what the given chapter is talking about. So much in thought that, like, yeah, that's right, Corby. All right, is that clear to everybody? Yes, guys, Priyanshi, thank you, dear. Yeah, Pratmesh, you were right about that. Is that clear? Now, moving ahead to the next one, which is the Black Aeroplane. This has been written by Frederick Forsyth. Again, very important. Do not forget this title, the here. Okay, that's being given in your book. So just make sure that you all remember this clearly. Moving ahead, what are the main points herein? The narrator was flying his old Dakota plane over France back to England, and he was thinking of reuniting with his family. All right. All of a sudden, storm clouds appear. Everything was going good for him. There was like, everything was doing fine. He had everything in his view, and he was planning to have a good like a reuniting party kind of a thing. Basically, he was like dying for that English breakfast, right? That is why he didn't want to return, and he just wanted to go to England. All right, but then what happened is that there were storm clouds which were looking like black mountains. Okay, and this is very important, that it was looking like black mountains. So suddenly what happened is that everything stopped working. His compass stopped working, his radio stopped working. He couldn't connect with the Paris control station at all, and the very situation, it was becoming very difficult for him, right? So what happened is that he had lost all the hope, and he just couldn't see outside. There was like blackness all around him. Suddenly, a black aeroplane appears in the storm. All right, this is very important, guys. The aeroplane was not the exact black aeroplane kind of thing. Instead, the aeroplane has been named the Black Aeroplane because that is the aeroplane who actually saved the pilot, all right, from dying, from just getting into any disastrous situation. That is why that aeroplane has now been named as a Black Aeroplane. All right, it appears in the storm, and the other pilot helped narrator to find his way out of the storm. So now he started following him. Okay, he was just started like, he started following him. Also, the fuel in his very like aeroplane, it was now dying, and he was literally like very much stressed up. But luckily, he was being saved. And when he reached there, all right, like at the very airport, he went inside to ask like who was that particular pilot person. But he was being informed that there was nothing. Okay, like in that, like in like the very system, like when he had checked, when she has checked the radar and everything, there was no other airplane in the sky except that except the Dakota aeroplane. All right, so what is the theme, guys, that's running in this particular chapter? That's the miracle, mystery, and luck. These are the very important three words that you should remember in the context of this chapter. That black aeroplane, it was a mysterious aeroplane. We do not know where did it come from and where did it go later on. So it was a miraculous situation wherein a miracle happened, because the hopes, they were completely dead. There was nothing that was really like could be seen there, and nowhere, nobody knows that from where that aeroplane had come. And also sheer luck, all right, sheer luck was there. Okay, so these are the three things that you should remember in the context of this particular chapter. Again, this chapter has got a lot of details, okay, in terms of what stopped working first, which instrument stopped working first, what was the name of the aeroplane, where was he heading to, for how many kilometers, like did he was able to just sustain in the storm, and like what exactly was being said by the pilot of Black Aeroplane. All right, so keep all these things in your mind. All right, these things are very important. There are a lot of keen details, guys. Okay, I'll be coming up with the chapter wise MCQs now after this session for all of you, but still, guys, you have to read it. Okay, read it so carefully. This is very, very important. Alrighty, so I hope that's clear to everybody. Now we are moving to the next chapter, which is from the diary of Anne Frank. All right, this is again one of the very important chapters, very important indeed. It's a factual chapter. And guys, here in my next step for all of you is whenever it's a factual chapter, no, you guys always have to read it very keenly. Okay, another normal story you can read like for once, that's okay. But whenever you are dealing with a factual chapter, always read it at least twice, because a lot of facts are being there which you cannot go wrong about. All right, because it is being based on something that's real. You're reading a real story, so you have to remember the dates clearly, you have to remember the names of the persons clearly. In before you read section that has been so clearly given, the name of her sister, okay, the name of her father, okay, the name of the novel that was being published by her father, what was the date, okay, how old was her sibling, everything is being given. So make sure that you are keeping a note of it. All right, this is literally important. All right. Raina, your compass was dead, okay? Radio was also dead. All right. Hey, Kushi, hi, dear. Is this making sense to everybody right there? Guys, I've been reiterating this again and again. Read the chapter. If you're reading the chapter this time, you're good to go for your examination. You shouldn't be worried about scoring like 100% in your literature section this time. Is it clear? All right. Yeah, Pratmesh, you're right about that. So what are the main points, guys? See, this lesson is an excerpt from Diary of a Young Girl or the Diary of Anne Frank. Okay, that is basically the main thing that was being published by her father, Otto Frank. Okay, and it was being published like as in like it was being originally written in Dutch, but it was being published like translated later on in English. So it's an autobiography that was published in 1947. In this, Anne expresses her thoughts in a diary which was gifted to her on her 13th birthday. Remember this. What exactly do we see in this particular chapter? She is expressing her thoughts, okay, in a diary which was gifted to her on her 13th birthday, and she names the diary as Kitty, which she considers as to be the true friend. So, what do we see? That she had a lot of people around her, but she couldn't say that anybody could be her best friend, a true friend. So, what do we come to know about her, guys? Again, a lot of stuff is there for all of you to remember, that she was an introvert. What does that mean? That she couldn't easily share her personal feelings with everybody around her, though she had a lot of people around her, but that was not really the right people, okay, with whom she would be free to say anything. Why? Like, there's a statement in the very book. Could you please tell me what is that main statement that's there? Yeah, that's right, Corby. Her father's name is Otto Frank and her sister's name is Margaret Frank. So there's a statement that paper has more patience than people. All right, it's a very famous statement from this very particular chapter. So why did she say this? She had said this because she thought that people, they are not going to judge you on anything. Hence, sorry, paper, that's not going to judge you on anything. Whatever you are going to write on it, it is going to gladly accept it. Whereas people, they are going to judge you on various aspects. Okay, so that is why she thought that without giving any thought, okay, without any hindrance, without any obstacles, she could write anything that she wants in a diary on a paper, instead of just telling anything to anybody around her. All right, she mentions about her childhood, her family, all right, her family, and a lot of other things that she told to no one else. So herein, what do we see? That in this particular diary, it was being gifted like in the very initial stage. We saw that she was a bit more like confused, like whether she should be writing anything in her diary, but she decided that yes, paper has got more patience than people. She started writing everything. She had given a very brief sketch about her family, though she wasn't really sure that anybody could be really interested in reading it later, because she was just a 13-year-old girl, all right, and she had a very practical view that who would be interested in the world to read about just a 13-year-old girl. But there were a lot of people who were being interested. Okay, it has been now published and we all are reading about it. So that is why she gave a very brief account of it, all right. And then she was in love with her grandmother a lot. She used to miss her grandmother a lot. Also, guys, keep one thing in mind, that there are another thing that she mentions in this very particular extract, wherein she is talking about one of the incidents from her classroom. We come to know about her teacher, Mr. Keesing, who had given, like, who found her very much irritating because of her talkative habit, because she was really talkative. So he had given her three essays which were a part of her punishment, and the last essay actually was a very amusing one that was being written. It was a funny poem that was being written by Anne Frank. All right. Alrighty, everybody. Okay. Yes, that's right, Corby. All right. So that's the thing. Now we are moving ahead. What does it says? That the given extract provides a personal account of daily life that Anne led, and she had given a sincere and honest description of her parents friends and teachers. So this is also one of the very important things. Again, guys, I would like to reiterate, kindly read the chapter carefully. That's really needed, okay? Now, the 100 races won by Leonard Astus. Alrighty, here we go. So one of the main points in this particular chapter, that Wanda Petronsky is a person who is a Polish girl who is from Poland. Alright, she has been migrated to this particular place now, and she had no friends. She was a poor girl who had always wore the same faded blue dress. Okay, it was like the faded dress. It was blue in color, but and it was what? Was it ironed properly or not? She doesn't. Raina doesn't. Doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't want to show her diary to anyone, but at present, whole world is, yeah, right. So like she was wearing a faded dress, okay, and it was like a blue dress. It was clean, okay, but it wasn't ironed properly. So Peggy and Mary, they are the two other girls, and Madeline is the name of the girl Maddie. So there were the two girls who used to make fun of Wanda by asking same questions almost every day. How many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? Yeah, 100 all lined up, said Wanda. So the story is told from the point of view of Maddie. So this particular story is more about like three girls and Wanda Petronsky in particular, and they were sitting in room number 13. Wanda Petronsky used to sit at the very last of the class, and in the very like front row we used to find Peggy and Mary. So in the last row, in the last benches, they were the rough boys, the boys who didn't used to score good marks in the examination. Though it wasn't the case with Wanda Petrosky, all right, that she was not really a rough girl. Instead, she used to be like completely different from everybody else. They used to find her name to be literally different, Petronsky. That was not something that which was familiar to the Americans right there. All right, she was coming from Poland. She was not being given the due respect. She was not being duly recognized, all right, by her classmates. Also, she used to be very silent. She used to be very quiet. She didn't used to speak a lot. She used to speak only when somebody asked any question, and usually that question used to be a teasing one. And what is that? That how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? So it was usually Peggy. Okay, they used Peggy and Mary. They used to wait outside the school in order to just humiliate her. Okay, though Peggy was not really a very negative character, we are not going to judge her in the negative light, because she was in a way like defending herself by saying that she never made her cry. Okay, she never just tried hurting her, because she was like she said, she had a point that if you have got 100 dresses, why are you wearing the same dress on a daily basis? What was the point about them? And Peggy, she was in love with animals as well. She used to protect the young children, okay, the young boys or the girls, from being bullied by the seniors. Right, everybody? Is that clear to everyone? So this is the main point. So the entire story has been told from the point of view of Mary. Mary was also not very rich. Okay, she was poor. She used to wear the dress that was being given to her. Okay, like that is the second hand dress, like a hand me down dresses she used to wear. What does that mean? That she used to get the dresses from Peggy, and her mother just used to just adore it. Okay, beautify it with certain trimming so that nobody would recognize that she's wearing something that Peggy used to wear. All right, and she was always quiet. Why? Because she was afraid that next time Peggy is going to actually tease me in front of everybody. So she didn't want to be in the list of Peggy to be teased. All right, that is why she was quiet. Though she was not somewhere liking it, but she was always being silent. So if you're being silent when something bad is happening, that basically means that uh, in a way you are just being with it. Okay, you are supporting it, which is completely wrong. Is that clear, everybody? Am I making sense to everyone? So the entire story is talking about the very humiliation that was being felt by her, and then there was a competition at large for like making the dresses and the motorboats for boys, and she was the one who had like drawn like 100 dresses, and she was the one who had won that particular competition. Okay, and now we saw that she wasn't coming to the school for quite some time. All right, and this is where the chapter ended. Alrighty, so now the 100 dresses too, again written by the same person. So what do we exactly see here? So it had been several days that Wanda was not coming to school. Her father sent a letter to Wanda's class teacher, and her father's name is Jen Petronsky. Okay, I'm sure that everybody is aware of the Jet Petronsky, right? In the letter, he had expressed his disappointment and the struggle his children were facing just because they were different. So that is why he said that they are moving to the big city. All right. And this the letter was being read in the class by Miss Mason, the class teacher. Peggy and Maddie, they became anxious. They realized that they might not ever be able to meet Wanda and apologize. They later got to know that Wanda had already forgiven them. So Penny and Maggie, they went to like Bogan Heights, wherein we saw that she used to live, but they were nobody was there. Then they had written a letter which was supposed to be an apology letter. That means the letter wherein they are feeling sorry about it. But that didn't turn out to be the apology letter. Instead, they just said that how is she doing? How's the new school? And like yeah, just that thing. Okay, there was no apology kind of thing. Therein, like Mary was the one who was literally waiting for the letter to come in. Peggy wasn't the one. She had forgotten about the entire business. Now, like on the Christmas, they had received one letter wherein we saw that Wanda Pentrosky has asked, sorry, had asked to give the green dress, all right, the green one drawing to Peggy and blue one to Mary. And later on, Mary recognized that their faces were there on the given drawings. So they came to know that she had already forgiven them. So what do we see that Wanda Petronsky, all right, she had really an amazing heart. In these chapters, like in these two chapters, we come to know about the theme of discrimination, about, okay, and about the theme of forgiving as well. Like she was being discriminated, she was not being given the due respect just because of a different name, which is completely wrong and which must not be done, okay, which mustn't be done. Now, herein, what do we see? We see that she had a big heart. Why? Because though she suffered, but she was not foul in her language at all. She didn't want to be very rude to anybody. All right. Instead, she just presented a gift to Maggie and Peggy so that they can just be very fine. All right. Is that clear? Jane Petronsky is the father's name. All right, is that clear to everybody right there? These two chapters, guys, just read these chapters again. The chapters are important. Now, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Roylala Mandela. Alrighty, very important chapter. Again, a factual one. There are a lot of dates in it that you should remember. Do not forget anything that's literally important. What are the main points in this chapter? This chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, who was born on 18 July 1918, the first black president of South Africa. So here in this chapter is very important. It's talking about the vanishing of the apartheid policy, which talks about the discrimination between the blacks and whites. So this is basically an excerpt, that is a part which is taken from Long Walk to Freedom, which is an autobiography. It includes the description of the inauguration ceremony, citations from his speech, his journey to being a freedom fighter, the struggle, along with a tribute to the freedom fighters. Okay. So in South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was being followed. Apartheid refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race. Very important, okay? Nelson Mandela has become South Africa's first black president after more than 3 centuries of white rule. Mr. Mandela's African National Congress, remember the name of the party that he had joined, and ANC. ANC must be capital. It won 252 of the 400 seats in the first democratic elections of South Africa's history. So it was one of the most brutal societies where dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights, and Nelson Mandela had fought for its people. There are a lot of things that he had mentioned in his speech. You guys need to read it. If you haven't read this chapter till now, I urge you all to please read it. Okay, it's a request. I'm not commanding you, I'm not ordering you all. Instead, I'm requesting you all read the chapter. Okay. So this lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of color, caste, race, age, or gender. That's what is given in this chapter, that how he wanted to thank all the people who had sacrificed their lives and what were the reactions of other democratic countries, and where exactly this particular event had taken place, what was the date, who were the people who accompanied him, who was the first deputy president, who had taken the oath first, who was the second deputy president, and like what are the what were his views, all right, and what are the twin obligations that are being mentioned, what were his views about the freedom when he was just a boy. All right, so there are a lot of things, read about that. All right, Corby, that's good. Now we are shifting towards the poems, guys. All right, Dust of Snow, very important poem by written by Robert Frost. This poem is talking about the importance of simple things in life. All right, do not underestimate the simple things. Because herein in this chapter, what do we basically sorry, what is it that we basically see that shows the falling of the snow had brought in the change in the nature of a person. So sometimes even a small event like snow falling on one's skin can cause upliftment of mood. So insignificant objects like the crow and the hemlock tree, which usually represents sorrow, can also bring happiness to one's life. So two insignificant things, two inauspicious things, chrome, which actually shows ill luck, that is bad luck, ill omen, and hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree. These two negative things have been used in this poem in order to show the transformation in the very mood of the poet, okay, who was earlier sad, but now like the person was now happy, okay. There was a change in the mood just by the falling of certain snow particles. Dust of snow has been titled. Why? Because the particles of dust, they are very tiny, they are very small. All right, they are powdery like very snow. That is why, sorry, they are very powdery like dust. That is why it says dust of snow. Remember the poem clearly, the poetic devices clearly. All right, also the rhyming scheme, very important. I taken the session on this. Make sure that you all are literally doing well about it. Okay. Now, the next poem, Fire and Ice, which has been written by Robert Frost, again a very important poem. Okay, it is what is it talking about? That human desires and hatred are predicted to be the harbingers of the end of the world. So it is saying that the human desires, they are uncontrollable, which is being represented by fire, and hatred, okay, which is again there is a lot among people. This has been represented by ice. Why desire is being compared to fire? Because like fire is uncontrollable. Similarly, your desires, they are uncontrollable. And hatred has been compared to ice. Why? Because like if you put ice cubes on your palm, you will feel a little numb there, okay. If I'm going to prick it like this, I'm not going to feel anything. Why? Because the area has now been numb. Similarly is the case with ice. If it is freezing all around, okay, and you guys cannot feel, and that brings in the hatred. Like hatred is like too strong that once you start hating someone or something, you will stop feeling as well. All right, so that's the given poem is talking about. The language is very simple, but you have to understand the deeper meaning. All right. So in the first paragraph, we see fire and ice relate to what? Like they are talking about the natural disasters like an asteroid hitting Earth or the ice age. So for example, if an asteroid is hitting the Earth, so the Earth is going to completely die, all right? It's completely vanished. So similar is the case or the ice age. Like if it's going to be like ice all around, there would be no life. Nobody would be able to breathe, okay? In the second stanza, the poet makes it clear that fire and ice are used as symbolism, or sorry, as the symbols for human traits. Like this is what I told you all. Fire is, desire is being represented by fire and hatred by ice. All right. So if these emotions are left unchecked, they can cause disaster. What does that mean? That if you're unable, like if you're not controlling fire, it is going to cause destruction. Same is the case with your desire. If you want something like every other time, that means you're not going to say that even if you have money or not, like if you have to compromise on something that's really more important. So it takes a toll over you. All right, so that is why if you're not going to control these desires, the very thing is that it is going to cause disaster. Okay, maybe you're not feeling something towards a person, maybe you end up like just compromising on somebody's emotions for that. All right, and similarly is the case with eyes. If you're becoming so hateful towards someone, what if somebody is really not right, somebody is really unhealthy, and you are being just very much selfish, and you're thinking about yourself and you want to do something for your own self? That's it. That would be wrong again. So it highlights the self-destructive potential of humanity, wherein it is saying that the humans, they are really capable of destroying themselves. And how is that possible? That is possible because if they are not going to control their desires and their hatred. All right. So the poem is very simple, wherein the poet is saying that ice and fire, they both are capable of destroying the world. Though he is actually favoring the ones who say that the world is going to end in fire, because he myself must have like tasted the desire. That means he might have felt that desire can make you do anything, though it has not been clearly given in your poem, but this is what we can at least assume already. But at last he says that if the world had to perish twice, what does that mean? That if the world had to end twice, which is again an oxymoron here. It's a paradoxical statement, because if something is dead, that's dead, that cannot be dead again. All right. Yeah, do you all get that? Yes, Corby, you're right. Priyanshi, you're right. So herein it is saying to us that they are both capable of destroying themselves. All right. So that's how the poem is ending. That both ice as well as hatred, sorry, ice as well as fire, they are capable of destroying the world. Now, A Tiger in the Zoo, which has been written by Leslie Norris, which is again one of the very important poems. So the poem establishes the difference and compares a tiger's life in the zoo and its life in a jungle. So the poem is covering an entire circle here, and it starts with the zoo, it goes to the jungle, then again it comes to the zoo, where it ends the poem. All right, keep this in your mind. It's a very important question from your examination point of view. So it is talking about the life of a tiger in a natural habitat, that is jungle, and in an artificial habitat, that is the zoo. So it expresses the tiger's mental condition, who is strong, agile, and hunts on his own. So a tiger is very much strong, right? It's an animal which has got a lot of power and a lot of strength. But that strength has now been locked behind the bars, okay? That is the cemented jail, the very strong jail, all right? It presents the attitude of humans towards animals. They get pleasure in seeing animals behind bars. This is so obvious, right? You guys visit zoo. Why? Because you find it really entertaining. You find it so good. So here in the poet is talking about the humans who find it really amazing and interesting see the animals behind the bars. But that is not the actual place of an animal. Okay, so this paints the mental state of the tiger and the writer to see the helplessness of majestic animal. He advocates freedom of zoo animals. So in a way, in this poem, he is talking about the fact that animals, like basically the animals who are kept in zoo, they must be freed. Why? Because when they are free, they are more powerful. They can look for their own hunt, as in they can hunt on their own. They can look for their own food. While a tiger who is kept in a cage, like he's so disinterested in everything, he is sleepless all the nights and he just keeps on just stalking in that particular cage. That means that he keeps on walking in that cage. So there are a lot of points in this particular poem which talks about your different figures of speeches. Just make sure that you know all of them, okay? Now the last poem, which is the bold poem, all right, it's by John Berryman. This is again one of the very important poems, which is talking about understanding the very epistemology of laws. That means understanding that what is it to lose something and just moving on in your life. So one of the themes of the poem is loss of innocence. The child was very close to his ball. The moment he loses it, he realizes that it was his responsibility to keep it safe and he had failed in it. So he understands that from time to time he will lose things in life which money won't be able to replace. The child loses his innocence along with the ball. So the deeper meaning of the poem is that we get attached to our loved ones and their loss causes depression. But as we grow, we accept death as it is inevitable and start living our normal lives again. So, a very simple thing has been used in this particular poem, which is a ball. And through this simple thing, the poet is trying to tell us, John Berryman, that we need to learn the very pain of loss. Okay, you need to understand the epistemology of loss. You need to understand, you need to have that knowledge that if something is there with you, it will be lost. It will be lost sometime. John Berryman, he had committed suicide because he was mentally depressed. He was mentally stressed up. He was not able to cope up with the suicide of his father, who really did this like right before him, and before him, like he was there standing near the window and he had just committed suicide. So he was not able to cope up with that. That is why he's trying to say that right at a very tender age, like right from the very small age, one should understand this, that loss is a part of life. Once you're losing someone who is very near to you, you need to move on after that. All right. If you're going to stand there, you're not going to live. Maybe you'll be living just physically, mentally, you'll be just dead. And if you're mentally dead, you cannot sustain well in your life. All right. That's more like being dead. All right, people. Is that clear? Is that clear to everybody? Yes, guys. So we are done with the entire first flight. I'm going to share with all of you now the Unacademy subscription features, which are literally amazing. And I hope that everybody did understand whatever I share with all of you. So guys, we have got unlimited Unacademy subscription features. You guys get to learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses, top educators of India on one single platform, regular doubt clearing and answer writing sessions would also be there, exhaustive coverage of the syllabus. Also, students, I would like to tell you all that I'm coming up with a one very important session right today at 5 p.m. for all of you, wherein I'll be sharing these tips with all of you, as in how to crack your reading comprehension for your term one. So don't forget about it. Just be right there. All right. Also, ask your friends to be there. Alrighty, people. Here we go. So, like exhaustive coverage of the syllabus would be there. Mentorship and guidance, study material would be given. Practice tests, live test series, and batch courses. So, you would have daily practice sections, everybody. You will have weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQs, and subjective test series. So, we are providing a lot. Think wisely about it. Also, ongoing batches are going on for classes 9 and 10. We started term 1 quick go through batch for class 10, and it started on 11th October for all the subjects. That is your math, social science, science, English, and Hindi. So just make sure you're becoming a part of all these ones. Then CBSE class 9 term 1 quick go through batch. Again, we started this on 11th of October. If you know somebody who is in 9th grade, kindly hit them with this, okay? Be very good. English, math, science, Hindi, French, and social science. Go ahead with this, guys. And guys, we have this club for class 10 case study preparation batch for math, science, and social science. We started it on 18th October. Make sure that you all are enrolling for these batches by becoming a plus member. And we have got advanced maths marathon batch again for class 10 starting date. I mean, we started this on 18th of October. Enroll, guys, because we are going to deal, I mean, we are basically dealing with the books RS Agarwal, RT Sharma, and NCRT and all these. Don't miss them out. All right, that's where you're good. Go ahead with it. And Unacademy Combat Scholarship Test for Class 9 students win scholarship worth 1 crore 30 questions in 45 minutes. Free live test on Android app and Android and test in the. So it usually takes place every Sunday. I hope that you guys had taken up this today right at 11 a.m. So let's crack it, everybody. Enroll right away. Use the invite code Unacademy. Alrighty. Now, Bugs Bounty Guide, that's an opportunity for all the learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. Be the first one to report a particular issue. To claim your prize, report any inappropriate content using the form given in the description. So if you find that something is really not working well and something is really not appropriate, you guys can report that by using the form which is given in the description below. Hey, hi Ayush. Yeah, my throat is not that okay, but yeah, I'm just trying to make it okay. But thank you so much, Ayush. And Jasmine, I wish you luck, dear. Just do it so well. Alrighty. Alright. So now we are understanding the next thing. If you wish to crack NEET UG with CBSE, then class 9 and 10 students, we have amazing offer. Buy 2-year combo and get 4 years. NEET for 4 years. Class 9, 10, 11, 12 for 4 years. Only for first 500 subscribers. Actual price is 81,000. Offering prices 64,483 rupees. Make use of it, guys. Valid for only first 500 subscribers. Go ahead with this. This is for your good. Alright, think wisely about it. And if you wish to crack IIT with CBSE, then class 9 and 10 students buy 2-year combo and get 4 years. IIT for 4 years, class 9, 10, 11, 12 for 4 years, only for first 500 subscribers. Actual price is 81,000, offer price is 68,682. Use your maths because we are actually providing a good discount right now. Later on, this is definitely going to be expensive. Before it becomes expensive, go ahead, grab it, discuss about this with your parents, and be in the list of first 500 subscribers. Okay. Now, guys, festive season offer, you know, festivity is around, right? And your exams are also around. So you have to think very clearly about this. It's valid till, I mean, this plus an iconic subscription offer is valid till 25th October. Mega offer for CBSE classes 6 to 12. You can go ahead with free CBSE subscription and free Creative Corner subscription. If you go ahead with 12, 15, and 18 months, you guys are going to get 4 months extra in both the categories. If you go ahead with 24, 36, and 48 months, you guys are going to get 6 months extra in both the categories. And if you go ahead with 60, 72, and 84 months, you guys are going to get 8 months extra in both the categories. Alrighty, people. Okay. So flat 10% discount on purchasing plus an iconic subscription of any duration. Offer is valid only for first 500 subscriptions. Be in that list, everybody. Alright, and make use of it. So iconic subscription, guys, personal mentor and would be there for all of you. Get one-on-one interaction, live doubt solving sessions. Okay, weekly reports would be there. Get detailed report. Then parent connecting. We are going to connect with your parents for sure. Study planner would definitely be there. And all benefits of Unacademy subscription would also be a part of your iconic subscription. Alright. So guys, you can go ahead with any plan that suits you the best. Okay, just make sure that you're discussing about this with your parents because this is literally something important for your good. We have got different monthly plans. We have plans for 48 months, 36 months, 24 months, 18 months, 15 months, 12 months, 9 months, 6 months, and 3 months. PSH10 is the code, guys. Make use of the code because this is going to give you straight 10% discount. And also, you will have an affirmation from my end that definitely I'm going to be there to solve any of your doubts related to English for the entire tenure. Alrighty. Unacademy free special class features, guys, live real-time interaction using chats and emojis, ask questions using question tab, live poll options for quiz, and poll leaderboard. Compete with your friends as well. So thank you, everybody. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, then kindly do it. Hit the bell button. Do not forget to like and share the very session. You can always find the PDF of these sessions in the very description in the link below already. So you can go ahead with it. Let's crack it together, guys. I'll see you right at 5 p.m. today, wherein I'm going to share the strategy of how to crack your reading comprehension. All right, people. Corby, thank you, dear. Ayush, no, dear. No, no. I don't have anything like that. Alright, people. Yes, of course, Jasmine. That is very much available, dear. Alright. No, Lalji. It wasn't Menti. So, guys, see you all right at